Hello, everybody. How are you? Super excited that you are joining me. Would love to know where you are from and your sun sign in the chat box if you are comfortable with that. So, while I wait for some of that information to come up and for other people to be joining, I'm going to start the slideshow. All right, this one is called New Moon Magic. It's called New Moon Magic because of this special new moon that we have just started. Oh, in Connecticut and Taurus. I'm so excited to see you on here, Joe. Glad that we are staying connected. Is there anybody else in the chat room that would love to show up and tell me a little bit about where you're from and your sun sign? At the end, I would like to take a little bit of time and take all this information and put a couple people's charts up so we can talk about where this energy is manifesting and how to work with it. All right, so a little bit about me. I'm married. I have 2 adult children. I'm a pug lover and I love to read. I love to travel. I have a master's degree in counseling and another in adult education. I love everything magic. My first goal is to educate. I teach tarot and astrology, and I'm a Reiki master. April, sun is in Taurus. Your husband, Scotty, his sun is in Aries, and you're from Brecksville. I love it. All right, so let's move on. These are places that you can find me. I'm on Facebook. I do lives on Facebook. I post to Instagram. I will put this video up on YouTube afterwards. And if you want to know what's going on, first and foremost, subscribe to my newsletter, and I will be sending out information as where things are, where I'm going to be, or things that are going to be going on with me. So I did start an astrology for beginners class. We are 1 week into it. You can still sign up for it. All classes are recorded, so you will be given that first one. So you will not fall behind if you choose to join us, and you'll be there with us for the second class starting this Wednesday. So let's talk about the moon cycle. Following the moon cycle, it is one of the oldest, most agricultural tools and spiritual practices in existence. Farmers use it, when to plant, when to harvest. People use the moon cycle. If women are all together, they will cycle together. Why do we predict? It's to plan, it's to prepare. The moon phases show us how the moon affects the ebb and flow of our entire existence. We pay attention to tides coming in, tides going out, all of these great things that are going on, all due to the flow of the moon. And since we are majority water, that's the reason it affects us. So the new moon is a time to create your visions. It's setting new intentions and goals. So every single month, you're going to get an opportunity to have a clean slate, to start fresh, to begin something anew, charge your crystals, have your moon water, to have a theme of what do you want to grow over the next 30 days, 6 months, and a year. And so with that, this new cycle, it brings focus and awareness on positive and loving intentions. It's there to raise your frequency. It's about being able to create what you dream about. Each new moon has a theme according to the sign that it is in. So that's why it's so important to know your rising sign, because then you will know what house this new moon is affecting you in. So this new moon is about dreaming, intuition, and following your heart. This one is called manifesting your dreams. Now, to know about the new moon, basically, the moon does not have its own light. It just reflects the sun's light. So we have the sun, and with a new moon, it's behind it. You cannot see it. It's the shadow of, and when it's full, it is illuminating, and we can see everything that it's being revealed, things that were hidden. Like we did that video too, or that webinar 2 weeks ago. So this moon, because it is a new moon, it is about being focused inward. Remember, the sun is where we shine. It's where we reveal ourselves. It's where we come out in the world. The sun is where the sun reveals where we want to go inward. It reveals our emotional core. This moon, the moon determines how you process all your feelings, all your moods. And it takes 29 and a half days to complete one cycle of the phases. So on average, about 2 to 2.5 days per sign. If you really want to jump into astrology, follow the moon cycle for 1 month, and you will have gone through every single astrological sign for 2 to 2.5 days and experienced the ups and downs that go along with that astrological sign. So a new moon. Sometimes they call it a dark moon because you cannot see it. It's dark outside. It is the first phase of a new lunar cycle during which it aligns with the sun. It's virtually invisible in the night sky. It represents new beginnings, rebirth, fresh starts, new commitments, resolutions, clean slates. It's where you put your intentions either on paper or think them and put them out there in the universe in order to grow something and manifest something for the future. So before we talk about the moon, let's get into a little bit about what all this moon is going to encompass. We have the planets. So the sun is where we shine. It is our sole purpose. Everybody should know their sun sign. The planet Mercury represents travel and communication, and that's the one that people usually know when it goes retrograde the most, because it goes retrograde more often than the rest. So Mercury, planet, communication, technology, travel. Venus, what we love, who we love, things that we value, money. Mars is where we have this inner purpose, this drive, this push to go out into the world. It's our passion, our desires. Jupiter's the biggest. It's the gaseous planet, and literally everything else could fit inside Jupiter. Jupiter's affecting us greatly right now because Jupiter is expansive energy. Anything that touches it, that it comes in contact with or connects with, it expands. It can be good, and it can be detrimental sometimes. Saturn, I think of Saturn with the rings around it as the fence around the yard. Saturn is the planet of rules, solid foundation, having a fence around your yard and saying we have to have some kind of stability in order to grow things for the future. Saturn wants to build things, but over a longer period of time. Uranus is the planet of shock and surprise. It's electric, it's air, it's ideas, and it is the opposite of Saturn. It wants to buck the rules, buck it says, why have these rules? Let's come up with something new. Let's create something new from this. Those rules are outdated. Neptune, which is affecting this new moon, is the planet of dreams and illusions. It is beautiful and dreamy, cosmic. It can be vibing high. I call it Hollywood. Things look beautiful, but then when you get behind the scenes, it's also realistic with things are not as beautiful as what you would think that they would be. It's dirty, it's dusty behind there. It could be addictions or habits that we just cannot quit. Pluto. Now, Pluto is the farthest one that we talk about right now, that it is the planet of transformation. It requires you to go deep and to make a deep dive, and anything that is not working, it takes and says, let's redo this. Let's turn over the grass and get rid of the crabgrass so we can start anew with this. So knowing a little bit about this, let's talk about this is what the chart looked like, or the sky. So let me explain for somebody who has not had their chart done yet. Think of this wheel as the universe, and the horizon here that goes across That is the horizon at the time that you were born. That's why it's so important to have your exact date, time, and location. So anything that would be in this first house, that would be called your rising sign, what you're rising to be in this lifetime. The first house always represents self. The second is always about money, wealth. Remember that this is the horizon. So everything down here has to do with you personally. And so we are looking at this from the rising sign of somebody who has Taurus. The third house is neighbors, things that are close to home, education. The fourth house always represents home, roots, mother, foundation, past lives. The fifth house always represents fun, creativity, children, affairs. And the sixth house always represents work and service given to others, and health, and finding a balance between the two. Now, your rising sign determines the sign that are on these houses, so those interpretations can change. If you understand that everything down here belongs to you personally, then everything up here belongs to you with, or represents you with somebody else. So your seventh house in your chart would represent you with partners, you with clients, you with significant others. If the second was you and your finances, the eighth is you with transformation and other people's resources and finances. If the third was you with close to home and lower education, the ninth house would be higher education, travel, and networking with people, places, and things outside of your close to home network. And the 10th house is your midheaven. It is the middle of the chart that focus on your public goals, your career, things that you want to be in this, or be recognized for in this lifetime. The 11th house is you in the outside world with friends and social circles, networking with people from work or people that you choose to stay in contact with. This could be groups and clubs that you belong to with Facebook and Instagram, or anything that's on there that you are either an active or a passive participant in. And then the last house represents the house of undoing and shadow and things that it's the dreams and it's the mystical. So at the time of our new moon, this is what the world would have looked like, or the sky would have looked like for someone who has a Taurus rising. So let me go back one more second. So because we have this cluster right here, and we have this cluster right here, I want to talk about these four houses, or actually these four signs. I want to talk about Capricorn because we have Venus and Mars and Pluto all in the sign of Capricorn all together. And then we're going to have Mercury and Saturn in Aquarius, the moon, the sun, and Jupiter and Neptune all in Pisces. And then we have this lone wolf down here, Aquarius in Taurus. And so to understand a little bit about each one of those, you put it together with a story about what is going on with you in your life. So let's understand Pisces. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. It is creative, it's intuitive, it's emotional, vague, can be insightful, can be inspired, can be charitable, mystical, dreaming, careless, can be an escape artist. It's two fish connected with one umbilical cord. So I like to think of it as the head and the heart, and it's to mirror somebody else. So this energy is where we have our sun, our moon, our Jupiter, and our Neptune all together. There is a lot of Piscean energy that's very creative at this time. Normally, we do not have all of this in one house. Then we have Capricorn. Capricorn represents hardworking, ambitious, grounded, traditional, methodical, follow the order, serious, can be frustrated, can be miserly. So for us, this means that we are these Venus and Mars and Pluto are in these signs. Then we want to talk about Taurus. Taurus is the bull. It's very steady, it's earthy, it can be stubborn, very grounded, sensual, tactile, determined, loving, patient, can be lazy, and can get kind of jealous. So we have this energy with our, with our shock and surprise planet. And the last one is, oh, I did want to bring in Scorpio because it is the opposite of, and it's going along with eclipses. So Scorpio, intense, questioning, investigative, magnetic, deep, mysterious, secretive, private, determined, and fixated. So understanding this energy, let's go back and talk about this. So we have this new moon up here. So the sun is going to represent what is shining in our life, Pisces, being connected to dreams, understanding things, feeling things, connecting to others. The moon is here. This is our private side, what we are not sharing with others that needs to be met. Jupiter is here, this gaseous planet that wants to expand upon whatever new moon intentions that you're putting out there. What new things do you want to create? What new things do you want to start, begin? Neptune is here. This is its home sign. Neptune is the trident. It's the water. It's the emotion. It's being able to feel other people's feels. All of this in water gives you so much feeling of everybody and everything. It's like watching the news and knowing what's going on out there in the world because you are feeling what other people are feeling. Now, we have Venus and Mars, the cosmic lovers. Venus is what I love, who I love, what I value, money, all of that is about creating something that's stable. It's in the sign of Capricorn. Create something, work with something, make it last over a longer period of time. Nobody is looking to buy anything that are just buying it on a whim. It has to be something that you can use over a longer period of time, something that will be stable that you can build upon. Now we have Mars here, and Mars is saying that I want to go after this. I want to, Mars dives in head first without thinking. And together it's diving in head first without thinking. And then we have Pluto. Pluto is saying, look, we need serious transformation in this house. We need to build structures that are going to last over a longer period of time. These are older structures. They mean hospitals. They mean our government. They mean school systems. Those are the broad. They also need to come down to where is this sign in your house? We see it playing out in the world where structures, things that we value, diving headfirst into things are going through a major overhaul. And with that major overhaul, it's going to have to be created from the bottom up with a new long-lasting structure. Now, we can bring it down to what is going on in your chart by knowing what house that it's happening in with your birth date, time, and location. So we also have this Aquarius energy here with thoughts, ideas, communication, and it needs to be slow and steady. I want to go back down here to the planet of shock and surprise. So with this means that there will be some things, a lot of things that are going to be shocking and surprising about things that are going on into the future. So with Uranus connecting with Venus and Mars and Pluto, we are all going to see an upheaval in our life somewhere with things that we love, things that we value, structures being toppled and brought back up. Now, with this new moon, we have these new moon intentions that we're all creating and putting out there. New moons are meant for 30 days, short, 6 months until it comes to fruition with a full moon, and then a year where you can again begin again. This is playing out in the larger audience, and it's playing out personally in our lives. So hopefully this is making better sense to everybody. So let's talk about, if you have your birth date, time, and location, I can pull up a couple charts and we can talk about that with where it's going on in your life as a couple of examples. So if you put it into the chat box, I need to know date, time, and location. Okay, I'm going to go to, okay. Let's see, whose charts do I have? April, Sun, okay. Trying to think of, all right, let me pull up. And I'm going to create a bi-wheel with this. And I want to put Jake on the inside and his transits on the outside. So I can share with you, what does this really mean is going on in his life? So we see that he's a Sagittarius rising. His wheel is what is going on in the middle. So on the outside, big things that are going on with him. His new moon was in his 4th house of home. So new moon, starting new projects that are around the house. The sun is here saying, this is illuminating what needs to get done. Is he thinking about moving? Is he thinking about remodeling? Neptune is giving him the ideas and the creativity. Jupiter is saying, let's expand upon this. And the new moon is, let's do these things and start them now. Now, his 2nd house of finances is illuminated with Pluto. So there's going to be some kind of a transformation going through and a rebuilding of such, so he can manage some of these things and make them come to fruition. This will also affect with his 6th house, shock and surprise. There will be some things that will be a total brand new start, and things are going to be starting from the ground up. And it's about work and life and health balance. Pets are also in this house. So, all right, let me try somebody else. How about Scotty Frank? And let me pull up yours. I don't think I have yours. So let me first see if I have it. I do not. Okay, so it's new. Okay. At 1:25 p.m. March 30th, 1968. Columbus. Oh, wrong time. Sorry. Mother. Okay, sorry. March 30, 1968. Columbus, Ohio. Mail. All right. I appreciate your patience, Scotty. All right. Okay, Scotty. So taking a look at yours. Okay. So the inner wheel is all about Scotty when he was born. He's born with a Leo rising sign, rising to become a Leo in this lifetime. Got a lot going on in his 8th and 9th house, but our focus is on what's going on right now in the outer circle. What is big going on, what is transforming in his life right now. So his eighth house of shared resources. This is money that's coming into you. This is your taxes. This is alimony, child support. This is combined money with somebody else. The sun is illuminating this. This could be signing documents. Jupiter is here saying, I'm going to expand upon it. Neptune is here saying, if you dream it, it will happen. This could be somebody willing you money. Now the moon was here, and it's getting help from your seventh house. Your seventh house is, okay, it's Aquarius, and this is where your Mercury and your Saturn are. This is your partner. Your partner, you're asking for support, some guidance, some wisdom, some knowledge from a significant other. This could be a client. This could be a marriage partner. This could be a business partner. This is you working with somebody else, and there could be some agreements that are going to be signed. It is going to be connected with work somehow. There will be shock and surprise in your job, your career. So your focus in life is very Taurus, solid, stable with your career, your job. So there will be shock, surprise that will be connected to your health and your work and your giving to the public. What are you sharing out there? And so we have Venus, what you love, who you love, in the sign of Capricorn, very solid, stable, needing to create something that is solid and stable in your house of daily work, health, routines, what you give to others. Aries is, Mars is saying, we have to create something. We need to go in head first. And Pluto says that this area of your life is going to go through a major overhaul, and that there may be something that happens in this area that will shock you in order that you will finally do this all together. And I'm hoping that this makes sense. I'm going to try to unmute. Okay. I don't know if I can because I'm on the struggle bus with this. Nope. I do not know how to do it without unmuting everybody. So I'm going to leave it, and then hopefully you can comment in the comments if you have any specific questions about it, or if you have anything that I can answer for you. All right. All right, Teresa Corbin, how are you? All right, let's do you. I know I have you on here. All right. Hopefully, this is all starting to make sense for everybody about understanding your own personal chart, your own personal wheel, what is going on, where it's going on, and why to follow. All right, so let's take a little look. All right, let me make it bigger. Hopefully everybody can see this. All right, so what do we know about Teresa? She's an Aries rising, and all of this, so this is her on the inside, and currently all of these houses are going to be affected. So we have her new moon was in her 12th house. Okay. Teresa's doing a lot of inner work. She's paying attention to dreams. She should probably look into, she's clearing out karma. This is her hidden supports. This is also past life regression. This is paying attention to dreams and all things that come along with intuition, the psychic realm, spiritual guides, people, places, and things that are on the other side. Now, with that, her house of friends and social circles is being activated with, there might be some kind of a transformation going on in that house. The two houses that are going to help her with her 12th house are going to be her house of career or her ambitions, where she is going to be known in this life. She has her Venus and her Mars and her Pluto. This is the house that's going through a major overhaul. These are life goals, how she's going to be seen. It's her public life and it's her recognition. This with money, her own personal money, things that she values. These are friends and her self-worth are going to be working in conjunction. There may be a surprise with what is she doing with work and a shift, or it could be a lateral move, a new move, whatever these new moon intentions that you are putting out there, it's going to affect these 3 or 4 areas of your life. It's definitely going to be career. It's definitely going to be your friends and your social circles, your networking, and it's going to be your personal income, starting something new. It's kind of like starting something new that clears out the karma so you can begin again new. All right. All right, let's take a look at Beth Williams. And I appreciate all of you hanging in here. Beth. And if you want a personal consultation, you can always reach out to me. Why do I have 2, Beth? Not understanding this. Let's check it to make sure. Beth, June 23rd, 1959, 7:42 p.m. Canton, Ohio. Okay. So we're going to put you on the inside. Your transit's going on the outside. So here we take a look at Beth, and we see that she is a Sagittarius rising. She's rising to become more like, let's take care of others, this fiery energy, it's expansive, it's share the wisdom, share the knowledge, and her inner wheel represents her. If you notice in her inner wheel, all of this stuff is in the top part of her chart, meaning she's really supposed to be out in the world doing things. And currently, all of these planets are affecting her inner world, her what's going on personally with her. So her new moon is going to be like Jake's. This is the same as Jake's. Something is going on. Oh, not seeing the big one. Thank you, Joe. I love you, Joe. Thank you. There we go. Thank you. All right. So going back to Beth, she is the same as Jake in that she's a Sagittarius rising. We know that something big is going on with her home. This is either home remodeling, finding a new home, wanting to have a new home, moving to a new home, kids moving into your home. Something is going on with her home. This could have to do, there could be, because of the 6th house being activated, something with home and work. Do I work from home or service to others? Volunteering. This could be daily work. This could be health. This could be, I need some kind of an exercise program or something that will help me to be healthier and prosper in my home. Because of this Pluto and Venus and Mars going on in her 2nd house, she needs to pay close attention to her money and her finances, because this means that some part of her finances are going to go through a major overhaul where she needs to look at everything with a fine-tooth comb. Does she spend money on this or does she not? Does she invest in this? Does she not? We know that there's going to be some kind of a shock or surprise moment coming up with her finances and her health, well-being, and her home. Like, this could be her saying, I want to remodel. I want to purchase something new for my home. I want to do this. And that's how she's going to make it happen. All right. And let's talk about Shelly. Thank you. I'm definitely feeling changes in my life, and I'm glad the karma is leaving. Right? Okay. So the 12th house, Teresa, the 12th house is really hard, and everybody has to go through this 12th house stuff. And it's about karma and ending, and we can't deal with it all at one time. So it's through transits that these things happen. The way I explain astrology is that you picked your exact date, time, and location for the birth of these lessons that you were going to learn, and you cannot learn them all at the same time. So your inner wheel is all about you. The transits are what you chose to have affect you, so you can work on things at different points in your life. And so that is you working on getting rid of things from the past, getting rid of things that you've brought from another lifetime. All righty. Beautiful. And let me make it big for you. All righty. Hopefully everybody can now see that. All right. Shelly is a Gemini rising. Okay. The inner wheel is Shelly. We know that she's rising to become some type of a communicator in this lifetime, to take information from others and share information to others, to gather and disperse to the best of her ability. This new moon is happening in her career at the top of her chart. Something is going on that it's starting a new career, shifting into a different, picking something that fits better with my soul purpose. Jupiter is here saying, I'm going to expand upon whatever you want to do. This could be her public life or her recognition, or these could be life goals. Her looking and saying, I need to create some major life goals for me to plan forward for the future. This could be retirement. This could be Neptune is here saying, I want to, if I dream it, I can believe it, it's going to happen. Now, her 8th house of shared resources is where some of these finances, there's gifts, and then there's going to be some shock and surprise going on into that house and her 12th house, because her Uranus is over here in her 12th house. Now, this is also hidden supports. So her 8th house, her Venus, what she loves, who she loves, this is other people's, it's like finances and money that comes from other resources comes into you. This could mean a payout finally. This could mean receiving money from taxes. This could mean the lottery. There's a lot of things that where is the money coming from? Or it could mean signing of documents, merging of two people coming together and actually signing critical documents to move forward with. This could be a prenup. This could be, I'm going to work with this partner, and this is going to be what we are signing. This could all, any kind of those documents. Now, Saturn and Mercury are in your 9th house of travel and higher education. This is you wanting to dive deep, but wanting the facts of some kind of religion, spirituality, or travel, connecting with others far and wide. It can be done either through actually going there or actually connecting through the internet with them. And so knowing that this is going to affect your job. Is this you leaving your job, or is this your job leaving to take you someplace else? Or is this you using this information to expand upon your career, to expand upon your recognition on how people see you and know you? Remember that there will be some kind of shock and surprise, that I would pay attention to my dreams, my intuition, my gut instincts, and hidden supports coming from your 12th house that will help you and connect with this house over here. So if there is nobody else and everybody is good, then I just want to thank everybody. I am going to be offering another, let me stop sharing here. I'm going to be offering another webinar coming up on the eclipses. Just a little bit about them. Eclipses come every 18 months and they connect in two houses that are opposite of each other. And it's about our north node and our south node. Those are not stars, they're not planets, they're not anything. They're just eclipse points that we want to go towards and that we need to release from. And because it takes such a long time, it hits pinging back and forth over an 18-month period between 4 and 6 times. And so our first one is going to be, it's going to be happening on the 30th of next month. I am offering a webinar on it, I believe on the 27th of this month. So in a few more weeks, like I think 2.5, 3 weeks. I'm not exactly sure. I just know that I posted it. And so that one is going to be letting you know where are you going and what you are for sure going to be leaving behind. I think about an eclipse as you and I are hiking, got our backpacks on, got a bottle of water, got a protein bar, we got our camper behind us, we walk across this bridge and a torrential downpour comes. It takes out the bridge. and we can't get back because now our camper has been washed downstream. So we start walking on our path. That's the first shock that comes, because eclipses are meant to take from the past, like realign us where we're supposed to be going. And it comes hard and fast. So we start walking on this path. And as we walk on this path, then we sometimes have to pick up our pace because we don't want to change. So the water level will be changing. And with that water level changing, it accelerates and removes things from our past. Eclipses are hard and fast and ending, never going back. We can never go back to that camper. It's gone. And you have everything that you have everything with you in order to succeed and move forward with success in this next journey of your life. And so every time I come to a crossroads or have a difficult event or a lesson, I look at it as, what can I learn from this? I'm older, and I used to get really upset over these things, and I still am sad and upset over it. But now I look at the bright side and say, what can I learn from this in order to grow from this? And then I sometimes question, why would I have planned this? Why would I have put this in my path? Who am I going to meet? Because we are in a time period with this new moon that karma and fate are now going to throw people, places, and things in our way to realign us on this new path. So please use this new moon to create some great things for yourself to move forward, and plan on shocking surprises, a realignment of where you're going and what you're doing, and higher to move us to more enlightenment and more wisdom and more knowledge. All right. I heart you. I hope that y'all stay in touch. You know that you can reach me at my email or through Facebook and Instagram. And you can always sign up for my newsletter, and you'll know when things come out the first time. All right. Bye.